If you are watching this right now, I truly believe this message was put on your path for a reason. Seriously, stop scrolling for a second. If you are in the middle of a massive life transition, or you're feeling that crushing pressure of building a totally new foundation for yourself, you are exactly where you need to be. Welcome to today's Explainer. We are unpacking a remarkably deep, spiritually charged Aries tarot reading from the channel Perfectly Imperfect Tarot with Green Eyes. And listen, this goes way beyond basic astrology. We're getting into the raw psychology of change and what it actually takes to completely surrender. If you're feeling this deep dive, do me a quick favor, hit that like button and drop a comment to let me know. It really helps us out. Have you ever noticed how stepping into a new, positive phase of life doesn't always feel like a celebration? The host uses this mind-blowing analogy to explain exactly why. Imagine you've been sitting in a pitch-black room for hours, right? And then you step outside, directly into the blazing midday sun. Bam! For a few seconds, you are literally blind. Your body might even jerk backward, kind of like someone just swung at you. Even though the sun is warm and it's a beautiful day, that sudden exposure, it's a complete shock to your system. That perfectly captures the fear and total disorientation we feel when we walk into a season of abundance. You're not doing anything wrong. Your eyes are just adjusting to the light. So I want you to really think about this for a second. Why does stepping into your own blessings sometimes trigger a literal panic attack? Well, it's because you are standing at the midway point. You've closed the door on the old life, but that new foundation, it hasn't fully set like concrete yet. It is so completely normal to feel that body-jerking panic when your world shifts, even when it's shifting for the better. The reading makes it so clear. To get over this hump, you don't need to freak out. You just need to get incredibly grounded. And this is where we get to the absolute core of surviving this blinding new phase. It's all about hyper-strict inner boundaries. The host talks about keeping 10 toes down, but here's the twist. It is not about fighting the outside world. It's about staying on your course, sticking to your schedule, staying in your own yard. Think of it like protecting your inner garden. You aren't building a giant brick wall to keep enemies out, you're just putting up a nice little fence to keep your own energy, your own focus, safely locked inside while your new life takes root. To actually do that, you need some specific spiritual armor. In the reading, the Divine Animal Spirit Oracle deck is pulled, and wow, it paints a picture. First, you get the peacock, but it's reversed. That means you're stripping everything back and totally redefining what prosperity even means to you from the ground up. Then the blindfolded swan shows up. This is your gentle nudge to have faith in what you can't see yet. But even more than that, it's a call for moderation. Drink some water, take a nap, actually live your life while you're building it. And finally, the wolverine. Because when that blinding fear of the sun hits, you have to tap into that raw, innate wolverine fierceness to just push right through the panic. Okay, pulling from the Crow deck next, something really unexpected and beautiful enters the energy field. It's not heavy, it's actually whimsical, it's upbeat. The host describes it beautifully. It's like suddenly hearing your grandmother or grandfather's favorite song playing out of nowhere. Just a wash of pure nostalgia and joy. It's this profound validation that, yes, building a new foundation is hard work, but there is this deeply comforting, lighthearted spiritual energy walking right beside you through the whole thing. Which leads to this absolutely massive mental shift. You go from the energy of the Eight of Swords in reverse, which is that agonizing, suffocating feeling of being trapped by things totally out of your control, like family obligations or circumstances you can't change, to breaking completely free of that mindset. You aren't letting those circumstances be your excuse anymore. Instead, you step right into the Knight of Wands. You're deciding right here, right now, to take whatever joyful, realistic action you can, using only the exact tools you hold in your hands today. Just listen to this quote, because it's the anchor for this whole shift. I might not be able to do it all, but I'm gonna do it every now and again. How liberating is that? You literally stop trying to control the entire universe. You stop trying to manage every single variable. You just look at the hand you've been dealt and say, yep, the obstacles are real, but I can still take one step forward. It is such a grounded, profoundly real perspective. You're finally giving yourself permission to move forward at your own pace, completely guilt-free. Because you adopt that humble head-down attitude, something breathtaking happens. The host reveals this overarching energy crowning the entire spread. It's described as divine love, just resting right on top of your head. It brings these washing, restoring, replenishing waters. So whatever exhausting earthly battles you've been fighting, whatever emotional hits you've taken, this energy offers true soul-level healing. You are literally covered. The path ahead is paved and protected. But right when things feel safe, the reading drops a very serious warning, and you really need to hear this. When you are pouring your blood, sweat, and tears into building a new life, it is so ridiculously easy to obsess over the finish line. The warning is this: do not miss the beauty of the process. If you are hyper-fixated on what everything will look like when it's finally done, you are actively robbing yourself of the quiet miracles and the spiritual growth that are happening to you right this very second. The host nails it with this line: if you focus on the party after the game, you're going to miss the game. There was a very real, unseen beauty in the messy, chaotic middle part of your story. Honestly, the enemy of your peace wants you so obsessed with the victory lap that you never actually feel like you've won anything. So take a breath. Be in the game. Feel the messy growth happening to you today. As we look deeper, the Lovers and the Two of Cups show up. Now, these cards mean you have made a definitive, independent choice for your life. You looked in the mirror, realized what you actually needed, and you went all in. You are totally dedicated. But making that bold, independent choice, it inadvertently threw you into a really exhausting position. Suddenly, you found yourself on defense. You felt like you constantly had to justify, protect, and literally fight for this new path you chose. And that constant defending brings us to the ultimate crossroads. What do you do when protecting your dream turns into a daily, exhausting battle? The reading shows that you actually made the wisest possible choice. You chose to just let the conflict go. And to be crystal clear here, you did not abandon your dream. You didn't quit. You just chose to stop letting the argument drain your soul. It probably stung. It was probably unfair, but you dropped the rope anyway. And here is where it gets truly powerful. Because you dropped the rope, you activated the Wheel of Fortune. The host doesn't just describe this as random luck. It's a cosmic filtering mechanism. By refusing to engage in the fight and just quietly tending your own garden, you let fate take the wheel. Anyone or anything that didn't make it through that filter, that was karmic energy that had absolutely no business being in your new life anyway. You surrendered it to the universe, and it protected you perfectly. Right on the heels of that is the Judgment card. This is it, the ultimate moment of surrender. You're carrying the scars from those battles, maybe over things that meant the absolute world to you, but you are actively choosing to let a higher power step in. You're taking a step back and saying, I'm going to let God be God. You completely surrender the outcome, deeply trusting that your faithful, protected actions were enough. That profound level of surrender leads to this beautiful realization. True growth isn't always something you shout from the rooftops. As the host says, you live your life as a walking, breathing testimony. Your proof isn't in your words. It's in exactly how you navigate these terrifying, blinding life changes. It's proven by how tightly you hold onto your inner peace, how you honor your boundaries, and how you trust that cosmic filter to strip away what no longer serves you. And all of that, the boundaries, the letting go, the deep trust, it finally brings us to the Three of Cups. But there's a twist here too. Normally this is about parties and socializing, but here it means you are stepping into much larger rooms. You're about to start connecting with souls who actually match this new, elevated frequency of yours. You're learning the masterclass of balancing that fierce, Wolverine-like authority with the beautiful softness and joy of what you've achieved. You are literally reshaping the world around you. As we close out this explainer, I want to ask you one final thing, and really think about this. How will you surrender to the beauty of your own life transitions today? Can you stop obsessing over the party after the game and actually let yourself feel the wild, messy magic of right now? Thank you so much for hanging out with me to unpack this incredible reading. If this really resonated with your journey, please remember to like this explainer, drop your thoughts in the comments, and keep building that beautiful foundation. I'll see you next time.